okay, the noise out there is I can't go to the gym, I can't go to my class, so it's not possible. Just sit down, take a moment, take a moment and ask yourself, is that true? Challenge that. Is that true? And the more that you start to challenge the noise that's out there, the more that you start to take moments just to be quiet and switch off your mobile, switch off the TV, switch off that negativity, and just home into what you really want 2021 to be. What would you love to have achieved during 2021? And what plan are you going to put into place to make sure you give that your best shot? Happy New Year, happy 2021. Are we all set? Are we all ready? Can we hear the excitement in the air of our possibilities and what's around the corner? I've got those intentions. Are we all set? Because everywhere I look and hear, I can hear about, step into the new year for 2021. New year, new you. And normally that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But we're still in a worldwide pandemic. We can't book our holidays. There's lots we can't do. And I'm here just to kind of address a bit of that noise and how to deal with it. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to pretend that everything's fine when it's not. What today's episode is all about is getting real. Okay, so I know that a lot of my listeners have children. They're having to juggle being a mum at the same time as being, fully present at work, and then dealing with parents that may have health concerns. All of that is still happening. And as much as I would love to buy into the new year, new me, I know it's not quite that simple. So today's episode is all around the tips that I can offer into how you can help to focus your intentions when the noise is still there around COVID, and how we can just turn that down a little bit. Here is my episode on how to turn endings into beginnings during a worldwide pandemic. That's the title and a half. I hope you enjoy it. There we go. We can achieve a lot this year, but it will be based on what you've chosen to believe is possible. And I'm going to put my hand up. New year, new me. If I was having to go to work and I've got kids that are not in school, I know that in itself would cause anxiety, because I would have to arrange childcare. I would have to try and do my job working from home. And all of those things are a distraction, aren't they? In a time where we really want to, reset, want to say goodbye to 2020, the year that was. My goodness, there's lots of swear words I can give and expletives to describe 2020, but I won't. But we need to end that, don't we? We need to end that. And we need to step into a new beginning. And where to start? So when starting 2021, I just want to say now, just for the record, that if you're feeling the fear, it's absolutely fine. It's normal. If you're feeling the fear and you're worried, you're normal. You're not, if you're hearing this over excitement around January and you're not feeling it, that is absolutely fine. And I'm with you on that. So it's safe to say that you're not strange or weird if you're not jumping around like Bambi due to the COVID noise. I feel that one thing that is really important to do during the pandemic and looking at our goals for 2021 is to look at the outside influences that are coming into your home. And I recognise for many months that our routine was to get up in the morning, put on TV, which was Piers Morgan, bless him, and that would be the noise before we, set out the door. Before my son went to school, till I set off to my day job before I had the car accident, and that would be the background noise. And that was okay, I guess, in terms of, when COVID first started. But when it's on a constant, every morning, and it's just this, I feel of intense negativity. There's really only so much you can take on without it affecting you. We are normal. We are human beings. We're meant to be, meant to live. And everything that COVID was telling us to do was to put a stop to that. Stop interacting socially, stop interacting, going out for meals and enjoying yourself, stop being social, stop doing the exercises that you love to do. Everything was opposite to what a human being should be. We are human beings. We are meant to be able to live, to have that freedom. But COVID, just put a full stop to that. So in light of that, one thing that I chose to do was not to put peers on in the morning. And that wasn't to be disrespectful to everything that COVID was bringing. That was just me putting my hands up as a mum and saying, look, okay, enough's enough. I can't absorb this anymore. I can't take it in. There's no more room for any more negativity first thing in the morning. It's just not how I wanted my week to start. So one thing that I chose to do is recognise that, okay, there are things that we need to put in place, we need to be safe, and that doesn't have to start first thing in the morning. If I was to go onto the government website, I would see what I needed to do. So that's the one thing that I chose to do. The second thing that I chose to do was to turn off notifications for anything on my mobile phone that wasn't filling me up. We talk about having a cup, don't we, and being drained. We talk about empty batteries. Now, on social media, if you're bombarded by negativity and people getting angry and frustrated, that does have an effect on you. So in terms of how you want 2021 to be months down the line, your energy is precious. And if you're looking to focus on your health journey in terms of your weight loss, in terms of your fitness, then you're going to need energy in abundance. You're going to need energy just to get through those days when maybe you're tired, maybe the kids have been demanding or work's been demanding, and you need to have a nice meal that's going to fill you up, that's nutritious and it's healthy. So you're going to need your energy for that. So one of the most important things in 2021 is to protect your energy reserve. See yourself as a battery. See yourself as a battery and protect everything that's coming in. Now, the third thing that I want to touch on for 2021 is not to aim for perfection. Okay. If you're following accounts on social media, on Instagram, that are literally picture perfect, the bedspread looks like it's been ironed, there's no litter in the dining room, and yet they've got 5 children, everything that you see is smiles, everything is picture perfect, like it was, like a shoot from Hello magazine, then as beautiful and manicured as that may be, and I know we all like to see those images, don't we, for inspiration, I just want to say right now, that is not real. That is not real life. And the stories that we tell ourselves and show to other people on social media, like Instagram, we orchestrate those stories. I do. For my Instagram account, I choose how much I will reveal about myself. I will choose which images I will put onto social media. I orchestrate social media like Instagram, like a book. And everybody does this, whether you're conscious or unconscious that you're actually doing this, everybody does this. And, there are accounts that are picture perfect. And then there are other accounts where people will happily show up, talk about the stretch marks, about the loose skin, about the struggles that they're having getting back into running. And I am not here to shame anybody on Instagram that has a picture perfect, account. If that is their thing, then, so be it. If that floats your boat, then that's absolutely fine. But if you're somebody that is living quite chaotic because, you're trying to work from home and then you're trying to balance childcare and then you're thinking, right, okay, I need to prep my meals because I need to plan a meal that's healthy and I need to stick to plan, and all of those things are quite chaotic, you might find that following those types of accounts that are picture perfect are just an added pressure. And maybe, just taking yourself out of the loop of following those particular accounts, just maybe while COVID is around, might be a good idea, and look to follow those accounts that do fill you up, that do offer you things that are relatable, because you don't need the added pressure of thinking, my God, my kitchen looks like it's been ransacked, and it hasn't. Why does my kitchen not look like that? We don't need that added pressure, but you're the one listening that is in control of this. But it's only you that can decide what energy you take into your home, what you view on social media, what you look at on Facebook. And it's easily done, isn't it? You find yourself looking at something on Facebook, and then all of a sudden there's this big argument or something that's really almost like clickbait, isn't it? And you can't tear yourself away. And those are the groups that I feel that you just need to decide, is this serving you? Is it serving you to get involved in this type of conversation? Is this going to help you get and reach your goals? Is this going to help you reach your goals that you're setting for yourself in 2021? Aiming for perfection is a bit of a trap that you can get yourself into. The more experienced I am in terms of looking what will trigger my low mood or mental health, I've learned that I need to be really mindful of who am I spending time with, who I'm looking at on social media, who I'm engaging with, because your energy is really, really precious. Think about, when you first went to school, you wasn't aiming to be perfect, but you kind of knew that you had to stand in line, and you knew that you needed to listen to the teacher, and you knew that was expected of you. But then let's look at your journey of your school life going through to secondary school. My son is no longer just expected to know the 12 times table. My son in primary school was expected to recite the 12 times table within a certain time frame. When we live in a society where it's just crazy, it's no longer good enough just to have the right answer. You've now got to do it within a time frame. Talk about messages in terms of encouraging your children and building up their self-esteem and doing all these mindful things with your kids. There's kids apps for meditation, and then we're expected to help our children recite times table with a stopwatch. It's just ridiculous. And what I'm saying to you today is, you can choose to go with that. You can choose to accept that, and you can, choose to conform. But I'll put my hand up. Still to this day, I've never learned the 12 times table. Maths is definitely not my forte. But choosing what stories you tell yourself, and choosing to live your life depending on how good enough you feel you can be, how perfect you can be, before you say, right, okay, I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to wait till I'm perfect, and then I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to wait till I feel really, really qualified, I'm overqualified, and then I'm going to start that passion project. I can assure you that time may never come. And I didn't learn the 12 times table. I just didn't. But I didn't take on that story. I knew that maths was never my forte. I knew it wasn't. But I didn't take on that story. I went for a job for a call centre, early 90s, and I sat down, and it was just a basic customer service role in a call centre. And I sat down with the paper, I looked at the paper, and it was all maths-based questions, and I knew I'd not got the job. And my heart sunk, because I thought, I know I can do the job. I've worked for a bank. At that point, I'd worked for a bank, and I knew I could do the job. But I knew that I couldn't answer the questions on that paper. And then fast forward into 2010, and I was working for the same company. And I was being put forward for awards, for National Customer Service Awards, doing presentations with the company's CEO to win these awards for this big company. And you need to be really mindful about rubber stamping your identity. I could have chosen to think, right, okay, Claire, there's no point even going back to that company because you've already been there. You hated it, you couldn't pass the test. There's really no point in doing that. But I didn't. I liked what they was offering and I tried again. But this time I didn't go that route. I chose a different route. And there's always a third door. And I was able to get into the company. They was able to recognise my abilities, and then I was able to work my way up the ladder. And this isn't just a spot for me just to, wear a crown and say, look at me, how fantastic I am. This is a moment for me to share with you, to show you how important your mindset is and how this can apply to you too. Because we don't need to take on these old negative stories and identities. And I would love for 2021 to be the year that you really look at your identity, really look at the stories that you've told yourself. We're coming into 2021, but are you stuck in the 80s? Are you stuck in a bad relationship that you had in the 90s? Are you really even in 2021? You might physically be in 2021, but where is your mindset? And the fourth thing that I want to share with you is journaling. So you might have already switched off thinking, oh God, she's gone really woo-woo. Journaling, honest to God, and on heart, this is one of the most freeing experiences I've ever looked into and taken part in, that allows me to really focus my intentions and to really just get things done, whether that be with my personal life, things with my kids that are coming up, things with work, the podcast, my creative ambitions. Journaling is a thing that I practice, that I know that if I put pen to paper and write almost unconsciously, just to get everything out of my head that's building up, that can cause anxiety, if I've had a bad week, just get everything out on paper and to really strip back what is going off with my mind. Because we have to put on faces, don't we? We have to learn to be in let's say like a corporate work environment. We have to learn how to be at home when the kids are feeling, despondent because of COVID, but you can't mirror that behaviour and that feeling because you're wanting to encourage your children. And often we can find ourselves spending a whole day of having these different faces for different occasions. There are so many faces that we put on, and journaling, I feel, is one way just to cut through all the noise. And if you're looking at setting goals for your weight loss, just ask yourself what it will take in 2021 for you to commit to your weight loss journey. Ask yourself and see what comes up. Ask yourself what has worked in the past. And ask yourself, what are the stumbling blocks that are stopping you from moving forward, that you need to really unpick. And, journaling, you can get any paper. And I would say not to type on a computer or use anything app related. There's something really therapeutic, I feel, with just getting a pencil. And this will allow you to focus your mind, especially when you've got small children, especially when you've got demands of your job and you're out the house. And as soon as you're out the house, you're literally owned by work, aren't you? And especially during a pandemic. And last but not least, the fifth thing that I feel is really important, and I will go into more detail about this in further episodes, is, have you had any experiences that you now feel define you? If you're on a weight loss journey, for example, have you been back through the door of your weight loss class many times? Can you even remember how many times that you stepped back through that door in January? And if you can just strip back what you need to do to help you move past that point. And I love going to weight loss groups. I love going to the gym and exercise classes when I'm able to. But often when that payment goes out, it's almost like the responsibility to ourselves to show up and do the work is gone. showing up, getting weighed, or, taking part in classes, your energy needs to be there, your commitment needs to be there. And if you've had experiences where maybe you've lived for quite a while in a victim mindset, maybe you've had experiences in work where you've not really been pushed to the top, you feel that you've been the second voice and you've never been the one speaking out, what challenges can you provide yourself with that you yourself can provide yourself with? Not a group, not a paid membership, not anything like that. What can you challenge yourself with to move your dreams and ambitions forward for 2021? Ownership of our emotions is a huge thing, and it's so easy to get stuck in a negative Groundhog Day, but it's possible to take steps away from that. And with every plan, with every intention to do our best, sometimes, we might take a back step. And again, that's fine. Just be kind to yourself. Just recognise, you're not in the military. This is not the SAS. You set the boundaries. You decide your limitations, and you decide that if things go offline, that you're able to pull it back. And one book that I really love is The 5-Second Rule, and that's by Mel Robbins. So Mel is an American entrepreneur, and I don't know what it is about Mel. I think she's got that. I think she channels my mum. She was quite assertive and passionate when she's talking about something that she really believes in. And this book will really help you. And maybe one day I'll be able to share my full story, but without upsetting people at this moment in time. I know that's not quite possible. But believe me when I say I've literally been on the floor with things in my life that, I've literally had the rug pulled beneath my feet. And keeping my momentum, keeping my ability to be creative and to challenge the noise that has been over a number of years on constant, that is so negative, keeping that focus, journaling about my feelings, journaling about what's going off in my life, has really truly helped me. And the reason that I'm putting my neck on the line and talking about this and being honest and being open with anybody that is listening to this is because I know 100,000 million % how important it is to protect our mindset. I know how important it is. I really do. And my heart goes out to anybody that is listening to this feeling that they just can't even address their health and fitness in 2021. That's not even a consideration, because I know how it must be for people in this worldwide pandemic that have never been through major upheavals must feel. And for those people that already had lots to cope with, they've now got this added strain. But you know what? I can sit here, I can talk about mindset, I can sit here and talk about journaling, about the benefits, about going out for walks, having a relaxing bath, being open, being honest with the people around you that you love. But, it's you that need to decide what is possible for you. And if I could reach out to each and every one of you that have struggled in 2020 and just say, that year is gone. The year is gone. And whatever your perception of what is possible for your life was back then, that moment's gone. It's gone. And just take this time while, the restaurants are closed, you can't see your friends, you're having to go out for walks on your own perhaps. Just take this time to practice self-care and to really look at what the obstacles have been in terms of what you was unable to achieve in 2020. And if that has any connection with your weight loss and your fitness, and feeling that, okay, the noise out there is I can't go to the gym, I can't go to my class, so it's not possible. just sit down, take a moment, take a moment and ask yourself, is that true? Challenge that. Is that true? And the more that you start to challenge the noise that's out there, the more that you start to take moments just to be quiet and switch off your mobile, switch off the TV, switch off that negativity, and just home into what you really want 2021 to be. What would you love to have achieved during 2021? And what plan are you going to put into place to make sure you give that your best shot? And if you have enjoyed listening to the podcast, you'll also find me on Instagram at SW_slimmingstories_podcast. You can follow me on there, and the guests that I normally have to do the interviews with for the weight loss, you'll also see like a before and after photograph. Sometimes I'll post a motivational quote. It's all on there, and come and say hi. And if you have been inspired by this episode, drop me a DM and let me know your thoughts for 2021. Until next week, take care.